Hey guys, you are now at step 2 and the finale of the A-line dress sewing tutorial by Beshira Made It, and it's definitely something to celebrate. Ready, set, let's pin and sew. Okay guys, we're going to start by grabbing piece number 4, which is the neckband, and we're going to pin the notches together just like that and then run a stitch across. And it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our pocket pieces and pin them along the side seam, again matching the notches. And it's going to look something like this. So we have a pin in the center of the pocket just holding it in place, and then we're going to sew it. Great, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have right sides together of the front and back of the dress, matching the shoulder seam and notches and pinning them across. And we're going to take it to the sewing machine and sew it just like this. Okay, great. So go on and grab your neckband, and we are now going to place it on the outer side or the right side of the dress, making sure the center back seam of the neckband is hitting the back of the center fold of the dress. And it's going to look something like that. So of course you're going to need pins, and more pins. Go on and take your time and pin it on the outer side of the dress. You probably need to stretch it a little bit to have it fit neatly in place. Okay, great. So now we're going to sew it, and depending on your sewing machine, you may have a stretch stitch, and if you don't have a stretch stitch, that's a tongue twister on your sewing. Okay, so you're probably just going to need to just straighten the neckband up, make sure the seam allowance is flush. Now at this point, especially when I'm sewing on a neckband, I like to use a stretch stitch whenever I'm putting on a neckband, but if my machine doesn't have a stretch stitch, say that 3 times, then I'll use a narrow zigzag stitch, and it looks just like that. Okay, so now that looks great. The next step we're going to do is we're going to pin on our sleeves, and so I just laid this out just to give you an idea of how the placement is going to be. Okay, now we're going to pin our sleeve in place, and it's going to look something like this with right sides together, and of course matching the front notch, the back notch, and the shoulder seam notch. Yes, we're almost done. So at this point, with right sides together, we're going to pin starting at the hem of the sleeve all the way along the side seam around the pockets and down all the way to the hem. And then we're going to stitch it just like this. Mumtaz, that's it. Just turn the right sides out and do the hem on the sleeve and on the hem on the bottom, and that's it. A hem is a hem. You could add your personal touch like I did, or you could leave her as is. Simply style her with a beautiful shoe, a gorgeous bag, and Shayla, and make her all your own. Thank you and have a good day.